I'm Steve Jobs.
Believe it or not, Steve Jobs did not invent anything. He was neither an engineer nor a computer wizard nor a scientist, and yet without him no one would ever have witnessed the Macintosh or the iMac. No one would ever have listened to music on an iPod or made a phone call using an iPhone. And of course, no one would ever have surfed on an iPad. Jobs did not design his products, but well before anyone else, he understood that they would change our lives.
Take a look at the screen, and I can move the screen with just a touch. A phone and an internet communicator. This is one device, and we are calling it iPhone. And here we are, right at the New York Times. You can see how fast it is.
He presented each new product as an insight into the future, and he made it all so very cool. He was a visionary, an incredibly charismatic boss, and had excellent communication skills. But he was also authoritarian, ruthless, and a megalomaniac.
It's just like this.
The story of a man who wanted to dominate the world through IT, a cruel world with no holds barred. Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco, California on the 24th of February 1955. Things didn't get off to such a great start as his biological parents abandoned him at birth. His mother, a student who was single, and his father, a young teacher of Syrian origin, couldn't take care of him, so he was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, an average American couple who never had much chance to study. But the Jobses resolved to bend over backwards to send Steve to university. Young Steve grew up with his adoptive parents in the south of San Francisco in this small suburban bungalow in the heart of a valley filled with apple trees, soon to become known as Silicon Valley. But all that was still to come. At the time, computing was only in its very early stages. At school, Steve was not a great pupil and was often bored. One subject did interest him, however, electronics. Still, the boy was no genius. Steve Jobs may not have been a genius, at least when he started out, but he had the right friends. Especially one, his neighbor, Steve Wozniak, who was 5 years older than him. They shared a passion for electronics, with one difference. Steve Wozniak really was a whiz kid. The missing bite on the right side is to stop it being mistaken for a tomato. All the young hippie manager needs now is to find some clients who are interested in his revolutionary computer named Apple I. Very quickly, Jobs receives his first order, 100 units from the Byte Shop, one of the first computer specialist stores which has just opened in Silicon Valley. With the Mac, the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad, Steve Jobs managed to fulfill part of his dream. He who promised to make the computer as easy to use as a toaster will have at least won his bet. To make IT part of our everyday lives. That had been his reason for living for over 30 years, and in a sense, he did change the world. The story is far from over, but Steve Jobs had to retire from the race. On March 2nd, 2011, he made his last presentation before a very emotional audience. Then on August 24th, worn out from illness, he chose to step aside and to resign as CEO of Apple. Having been confronted with death for so long, he lived each day as if it were the last. And doubtless, that is why his final